everybody, and welcome to another episode of Toonkind at 12 frames per second. I am Hexabeast, just Hex is fine, and today I am playing someone different. I am playing Vava Von Vixen, who's.
That's just by how you opened that up. Let me guess, you've been playing Trial a lot?
Oh, yeah. It's always a delight when I'm not playing Thrall. It's also a delight when I am playing them, but it's a different delight now when I'm not.
Give me a pat.
And I am joined by my good friend. Please introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Vamp, and I am actually playing my Magic Man, Mersel Arlo Von Vixen. And again, if you are listening to the FPSs I just added to the playlist and wondering if I did them all on the same day, shut up. No, I didn't.
Yes, you did. Don't lie. Lying is bad. Don't lie.
Yes. Alright, maybe I did. But, yeah.
Yeah, this is another kind of follow up to that one because Sel's been talking to some people in his life that are important to him, and he's still got one more to talk to.
Yep. And where do you think Viva is today?
Well, that's a good question. It's probably safe to say that she would likely be home. Um, because otherwise she's actually been spending time with people, which is a shock. Like she's been spending time with Win and Cyril and actually getting out and meeting people. So it's actually it's actually surprising to find her just at home kind of, you know, relaxing. It's just her. Vivi is probably at dance lessons right now. Um, if not, no, yeah, she's at dance lessons. I had to think for a second. Yeah, she's at dance lessons right now. So it's just Vava at the house, but she's at home right now.
Hey, and Viva, you hear a knock on the door.
All right. Well, she's gonna stand and excuse me, glance out the window to see who it is, cause you know, not gonna open the
Do
door
I?
immediately, but
Hey, and it's Marcel.
okay. Well, seeing that immediately, opens the door with kind of a laugh. Just, you don't have to knock, love. You can just come right in.
Well, it's only polite and all that. I mean, you could be doing something important.
I can, but I never mind the interruptions. But
Hmm.
she steps to one side and kind of, motions him to come on in.
And he comes on in, and he kind of looks around, and at the absence of a certain fox like coming in to tackle him, he's just, where's Phoebe? She's not home?
No, she's at dance lessons right now. And I suspect she might be staying with Wild for dinner.
Ah, well, that's her friend, right?
Yes, though to hear them talk, they're twins, even though I believe he is born in the summer,
Ah,
and Vivi's birthday is in December.
like I think Sol does chuckle a bit at that, and it's just like, well, I'm glad to hear that she has someone she's so close to.
It is. I am pleased. She's been making friends, and it's. I'm glad to see it.
Mhm. And Sol nods as well, and I think like they probably both sit down like in the sitting room. Is that what that place is called?
There's several. I mean, Vava's got a big ass house. There's the entryway. There's the sitting room. There's the lounge. There's the living room.
Yeah, yeah, let's go with the sitting room for now.
Yeah.
Like, they feel like they both probably like sit down like in the sitting room. And and Cell just chatters on a bit on nothing in particular. And he's
Mm-hmm.
just and you, Miss Fava, how have you been doing?
I've actually been well. Well, I've been working a little bit, but the studio has still been, on a break, and, well, I'm not complaining. It's been rather nice to just relax and spend time with Vivi and others. I've been spending time with Win, actually.
Oh, you've been spending time with Win?
Mm-hmm. Uh, roll, roll an insight for me, so.
Yeah, sure, lovely.
Yeah.
That's a 5.
That's a
Do I have
5.
advantage?
You
Because
have
Fava
advantage because
decided-
this is your mom. That's a 7.
I'll use a luck point just for you.
7.
No.
Only 7. Only. Um yeah.
I mean, in fairness, this does makes a bit of sense because I gesture at the fact that, SL probably would not be able to tell this.
Uh Especially because that's his uncle. And
What?
Vava is talking. Vava has that same smile when she talks about Win as she did when she was talking about Mersel, or I mean, Cyril. Uh, so, uh, Cell could
I
draw
think
that
Cell,
conclusion, but also
I,
that's his uncle.
I feel like Cell sees that smile and just kind of subconsciously decides nope and turns around basically
just,
from that thought.
just, oh no, that thought is incorrect. We're going to move on from that.
More like Cell softly, we don't have time to unpack all that.
Yeah, yeah.
If Win and Veva do get together, I mean, granted, Win probably makes a much better dad than Cell's actual dad.
Yeah. Win keeps adopting children, let's put it that way.
Is it really adopting if this one specifically is actually blood related to him?
Yes?
Does it count?
Yes! I don't know. But,
Adoption semantics. It's a popular philosophical debate here in Nanquil.
yes. But we aren't going to get into that. That's not the point of this.
Yay.
But
Yeah, as they're talking, Marcel probably is just like, I'm really happy that you've been having a good time, Miss Veva.
indeed, but what about you, doll? What about you, love? How have you been?
Roll me inside,
Yep,
baby!
I knew it was coming. All right, Vava, come on, don't fail me.
I will let you have advantage because she does know him. Oh,
That's a 10 though. Eh.
even with a 10, even with the 10, even if I roll a deception to try and throw you a bone, even on a nat 1, I'm still gonna meet the 10.
Cell wins, yeah.
Yeah, I think he's just kind of God, he came here specifically to talk to her, but
Mm-hmm.
now when he's confronted with the actual question, he kind of chickens out like he did with Bond earlier.
Oh,
He's
Marcel.
trying. He's trying. If Viva had pushed, he would, but he chickens out and he's just like, "Oh, I've been doing just fine. A, it's been rather quiet."
Oh, well, that's good to hear. What brings you by?
Well, I just wanted to check on you and make sure you were doing all right.
I'm doing well, and I appreciate that. Uh, and she kind of smiles and stands. Would you like something to drink, love?
Oh, just water is fine.
Sure, I have a new
Mhm.
tea from Saltpear that's actually quite lovely.
Oh, a new tea?
Indeed. I picked it up at a festival.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, sure. I wouldn't mind giving that a try then.
Hey, all right. Uh, So Vava's gonna he can come like she motions like he can come along to the kitchen because I mean, you know, different room and she wants to spend time with her kid. But she sets the kettle to start boiling and pulls out two mugs so that, you know, on the ready. But I mean, I think she's just gonna kind of make small talk with him, you know. How are Primrose and Tobias doing? How's she would know that Bob and Ross live with him, I think.
Yeah,
Uh
she would. She would.
so, you know, asking about them and Gil and Sandy
Callie.
and Tally.
Hey. And like, yeah, he gives like, yeah, they're all doing okay. Everything is doing great. Sandy and I like to the kitchen earlier. I went flying with flying kites with Pam for a bit.
I don't think
Like
Vava
little
knows
small.
Pam, so hey.
Yeah, and then there's that moment of, oh, we both know the same person.
Yeah.
Toontown really is a small like place.
Yeah. And Vava's just kind of grinning. Um in that wow, it really has been quiet. I don't think I've seen you go a week without some kind of something happening. And she means it completely lighthearted. Like it's a jab, but
Rolling inside.
God.
Heck.
God. Heck. Heck. I'm doing advantage because screw you.
Ice Parser says no.
You know what? Fine.
I
I'm using my dice. I'm using my own clicky clack. Cause fuck you, dice parser. We need this FPS to work, and to do that, we need actual like insight here. Fuck you.
What did your actual dice give you?
That one.
Oh, it gave you a pat, so gentle.
I can't
Uh,
believe this.
Roll with advantage on your own dice?
No advantage. Oh, we die like men. Oh, hey, okay, finally, fucking finally. It took 4 rolls, but that's an 18.
Yee!
Christ.
Okay, so rub hands together. Okay, so you say that, and like Sal kind of flinches a bit.
Uh,
Yeah, kind of flinches a bit, and well, you know Mersel by now.
mm-hmm,
You're pretty sure he wasn't lying when he said that the past week has been uneventful.
mm-hmm.
However, he has not said anything about the week before that.
Okay. Uh, Vava kind of looks him over, um, and sets sits at the like island in the kitchen. There's a couple of stools there. Um,
Hmm.
and she just she's trying to not pry, but clearly something happened. So, you know, she's gonna sit and just Marcel, did something happen? Is
He he kind of hisses a breath through his teeth, like, um, yes.
is everything all right?
God, he's trying so hard.
Mama's trying to not pry it out of him, but it's like he's here for a reason. That's a 17.
That was his Swiss save. I wanted to see if he could keep going, and he managed it. Um,
Hey, good job, kid. Keep talking.
he just kind of exhales a bit, then shoves his hands in the pockets of his coat,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just mm, maybe getting there. I wanted to. I came here because I wanted to make sure that you were doing all right.
I am doing all right, and I appreciate that, but, well, now I'm. Let me roll a thing to see if she's gonna put. Because I've put this line of reasoning together. Let me see if she's gonna put that line of reasoning together. That's a. That. No, that. Oh, yep. So
Oh,
yeah,
what was that for?
that's an intelligence, just to kind of gauge like her thought process to see if she would come to a similar conclusion. Um, and she very carefully words this, uh, but she does eventually ask, "Did something happen that would cause you to want to check in on me, Mersel?"
Mm, ignore the silence. That's me like trying to try like I'm throttling Saul. He's giving me a lot. I'm just trying to put it into words.
Mm-hmm, I understand.
And I think he ends up going not not nothing happened. Uh well, nothing actually happened, but it also it was let's let's call it a nightmare. You know, he makes a gesture and like he has this kind of like it's a smile but also not really when he goes nightmare demons and all that.
Vava takes in a slow, deep breath, and she's not steeped in magic like Cell and everyone that he kind of runs with, but she's learning. Um, so she kind of, all right, and I can guess on what happened on that front.
Hmm. I did break out. He mentions this. I did I did break out of it, but it was a pretty bad one, even so.
I I know how that can. I know how nightmares can be. Yes. And she. Is he sitting at the moment, or is he still standing?
Probably standing.
Okay. So she kind of steeples her hands on on the island, and uh after a moment of thought, just it. I know how bad nightmares can be, and I I it must have been quite bad to rattle you this much even now. So, uh, what can I do to help ease that? Because
Hmm.
she has kind of come to the conclusion that something in this nightmare has caused some worry for her or about her, so she wants to do what she can to alleviate that.
Hmm. Vava says that, and his face crumples, and he takes like a really sharp breath through his nose, and he kind of starts tugging and playing with his sleeves and running a hand through his hair nervously,
Mm-hmm.
and then he's just, do you remember when we well, about a year ago.
Do I remember when what about a year ago?
Do you remember when about a year ago you told me that you worried about me?
I do, yes.
You told me that you thought that I was going to get myself killed if I kept doing what I did.
Her ears kind of lower, but she nods, and because she did in fact say that, and she's just, I did say that. Yes. Yes.
Mm. And give me a second. I need to like remember exactly like what I'm thinking of because I know what it is, but I need to remember like the actual thing of it
Mm-hmm.
basically.
Mm-hmm.
Eh. Yeah, okay, I remember now. And Sal kind of twists at his sleeves and goes, and you told me that not all stories have happy endings.
And again, she kind of nods and is putting pieces together for what this nightmare might have been. Uh, she's wrong, but she's getting a somewhat of an idea of how bad it probably was. Um,
Yeah. Like it and Marcel's just kind of like he tugs at like his sleeve and he's just very quietly, I would it would you really rather if I just stay home and never go anywhere again?
that she kind of pauses there because she's she's trying to figure out the best way to word it. Um, and after a moment, uh, she stands because one, the kettle has gone off, so she takes it off of the eye. But she doesn't pour the tea. She just turns back to Mersel and she says, "I will be honest with you, Mersel. When you leave on these adventures, I still I still am fearful for you. But," and she kind of holds up a hand to, stop any, she's not finished talking. Wait.
Yeah, that's very good
Yeah.
because that crushed him.
Yeah. Um, but I know that you are smart enough, skilled enough, and wise enough to not get in over your head. And I know that if you are, you ask for help. And that you're not going to you're not going to go and stubbornly do something. So, no, I don't want you to stay home. I want
Hmm.
you to keep doing what makes you happy. And she does mean that very much.
Gosh. Like, I think chronologically, this does take place after his talk with Bond. So he takes that, like, a bit more gracefully this time around. And you kind of just hear him just kind of, like, exhale very slowly. And this just, even, even if what makes me happy, even if what makes me happy worries you this much.
Even if Mersel. I understand that my worries come from a place of pain and hurt. And she's not quoting something, but it's very clear that this is something that she has been working on because, yeah, surprise, Vava's actually been going to therapy. Uh,
Aha! Handshake.
yeah,
That's the only reason Marcel's even like gotten to the point where he can be vulnerable.
yeah. So Vava kind of, uh, she twists her hands a bit and says, "So I know that my fear can be a little more than most, but I also know that my fear should not stop anyone or myself from living, well, from living in general."
Uh, yeah, he does kind of look away at that. It's just looking around the mansion.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't think it has changed that much from when he was staying there.
Nope. There's more pictures, but that's kind of about it.
Yeah, and I think he just kind of like stares at the pictures for a long, long time.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's just e- even if even if even if just living can put people in danger.
Ooh. Uh. Who? Hmm. She stands from the counter and walks over to Mersel. And she moves to take his hands, if he'll let her.
He'll let her.
Okay. Uh, and she looks up at him. Is he still looking down? Or away, I guess.
He's probably like still looking away.
She takes his hands and uh she doesn't tell him to look at her, but she does, she's just gonna talk, because he's clearly still thinking. And she says, "If I have learned one thing, Mersel, from everything that has happened in these last it's been almost 2 years now, hasn't it? Since we've reunited. If
Hmm.
I have learned anything, it is that we should we should not let fear rule our lives, and that if you do so, that is not living. And I think that you are I think that you are aware enough to know when something is that dangerous. And I know that you would not willingly put yourself or anyone in that kind of danger."
And gosh, she's holding his hand, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think he just squeezes it, and it's just in a very, very low voice. He's just like, kind, kind of do this.
Say that again. I couldn't understand. I'm sorry.
Sorry, I, I kind of do this just by putting people in danger just by being here. I'm just and his other hand just goes up, like kind of like cover his face for a second, and he's just mm, just I don't know how to just I just put people in danger, I guess,
Mer-
and hurt them just by
Mersel.
this thing.
Mersel. Love. Love. Uh, and she starts to carefully guide him over to the table. Uh, and she Oh man, let's see. She
Checks. How are you feeling? Like obligatory check to make sure you're
Oh,
doing
I'm doing
okay.
all right. I'm fine. Are
Yeah,
you
I'm
okay?
fine.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay, good. She I'm just trying to think of how she would word this.
Yeah, like out of character, it's all good and not. Yeah, like he wouldn't willingly put people in danger, but
Yeah,
the fact is, he is technically putting people in danger just by existing in their sphere.
exactly. And it's one of those things of like ev- mm, I think I know. Okay. So, uh Vava guides him to the table, and she sort of gently nudges him to sit, but if he resists, then she's not going to force him, but she, tries to have him sit. Uh,
He'll sit. He'll
mm,
sit. Don't
okay.
worry.
And she takes both of his hands and says, uh, very, she, she's very much trying to word this in a way that isn't like that would make sense, but it's clear this is something that she is not quite used to. But she still tries, so she takes his hands and says, Mersel, by the virtue of being who I am, there are people who would take advantage of that and hurt my loved ones. Just like the engineer doing what he does to help others has potentially put his loved ones in danger. And I know you to know that keeping us safe while willingly watching others hurt is not something that would sit well with you. And I think we are all aware of that risk, and we have all accepted that risk because we know what you do and how you live is you do so for good, Mersel. You do so to help others. And doing that will always have people who want to take advantage of that or to undo that. And that should not be a reason for you to stop, honestly.
Uh, okay, let me have a second because Sal's feelings are hitting me like fucking truck.
Yep.
God, and I'm just, God, I think like hearing that he just like kind of like rubs at his eyes a bit. It's just, what, you change things. If you, do you ever regret hitting me? Do you ever just, since, because I, because I hurt, because we spent all those years apart, and because I worry you every time I go home. Do, do you ever regret it?
No, not at all. If anything, Mersel, I am more thankful that I have met you every day, and I would change nothing. Except maybe I would like to have stayed in contact for those years, but we cannot change the past. We
And
can only grow from it.
So kind of huffs at that, and kind of like straps at his eyes for a bit. It's just like, what, what, what did happen to that guy? What did happen to that secretary?
He's found other employment.
There's a smash cut to whatever other employment the employee is doing right now.
It is not handling mail, I can tell you that much. Um,
And then like, God, the camera cuts back and Sal's just you know that um you know that I'll always come back, right?
I know that you will always try to come back, Mersel, and I know that there are forces that will try to stop you. But, uh, and has he, is he still looking away?
No, he's looking at her now.
Okay. So she's looking him in the eyes. Well, they're looking each other in the eyes at this point. But
Yeah.
she smiles a little and she just, I trust that you will always at least try to come back, and you will do everything in your power to come back.
I think Sal kind of takes a deep breath and then nods. It's just like, I, I promise that I'll always try to come back. That I'll always do my best to like, know that I leave a lot and I I like traveling. I like my adventures, but I I I do care. I do care about a lot of people here in here in town, and I'd never. I'd always try to come back. Never stop trying to.
I know you will, and I am thankful for that. I I don't think I want you to change at all, honestly. I don't think you would be you if you stopped adventuring. She offers him a watery smile because she's trying to keep it together.
God, I think he looks at Viva and like really looks at her.
Mhm.
Then he kind of like just forward to give Viva a hug if she'd let him.
Oh, absolutely. She pulls him into a hug.
And he's just thanks, thanks, mom.
Anytime, love. Anytime. And she squeezes him at that.
Oh, this is me out of character. Oh, God, fuck, Hex, are you still there?
I'm here.
Are you
Hi. I'm alive.
Are you okay?
I'm doing all right. Are you all right?
I'm doing okay. I'm just hit with the fucking emotions of it
Yeah.
having taken 2 years for them to come this far.
Yep. 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 Yep.
Jade, this has been going on for 2 years for context. Like, I'm just, oh,
Yep.
yeah. I think,
Oh.
I think eventually he just releases her, like, from the hug and it's just like, so, tea?
Right. Right. Let me. And she'll move back and get the kettle, pour it, pour the pour them each a mug and uh offer him a they're in little tea bags, so she, hands him a tea bag and slides the sugar or the honey across, whichever he chooses.
Oh, he chooses both. He has a really big sweet tooth. She
Yeah,
knows this right now.
yep, both of them went. So,
Yeah. And I think like as he's brewing his own cup of tea, he just kind of pauses a bit, look at Viva, and it's just like, you, you know, you can lean on me as well, right?
I know. I'm well aware. But I am trying to not just lean on you.
He not said that because yeah, he understands not putting too much on just one person.
Yeah,
And he's just, even still, I'm always here if you need me.
I know. And I am always thankful that you are.
Takes a sip of the tea and just kind of like looks at the table, at the tea, at like the house around him.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of like quietly takes a sip. The the sun is beginning to set outside. Leaves are rustling by the window. There's a breeze picking up. Um, there's probably like bird song like leaking in through one of the windows. It's warm.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Soon Viva's probably going to light the fireplace, and later,
Possibly there's a gentle breeze, having a wind chime go off.
yeah, even later, there'll probably be like Vivi's laughter, and from where he's sitting, he can see like macaroni art or even just finger paintings that she's done.
Oh, there's absolutely just, different craft projects around. A lot more physical crafts than, drawn ones lately, but still there's crafts all over the place.
Yeah, and Marcel just kind of like looks at all this and just kind of breathes in the smell of tea brewed the way he likes it because Viva cared enough to remember how he likes it.
Yep.
And I think he just kind of like his shoulders like relax for the first time in a bit. Then he just kind of smiles and he's just thank thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Mom.
Always, always, love. If you ever need to talk, I'm here. If you ever need anything.
Yes, I think I think I'm beginning to believe that now.
She kind of smiles. Uh and is he uh is he looking at her right now? Or
Yes.
okay.
Yes, probably.
Okay. So she smiles and leans down, gently kind of knocks their foreheads together in a motion that he's had her do a lot over the years.
E.
And she kind of just stands there a moment. Thank you as well, Mersel.
He does blink slightly at that, and he's just like, what did I do?"
You've done more for me than anyone possibly could have these last few years, darling. And I don't say that lightly. Uh, she pulls back a moment, but she's still kind of smile. She's still smiling at him and says, "You've you were the one who brought me back to myself when I was quite possibly at my lowest."
And he nods and breathes in. It's just like, I'm I'm glad I'm glad I could help. And yes, I you as well, Miss Vava.
She gives him a kiss on the forehead at that. Uh, Probably has to tilt his head up a little bit, but but she does.
And when she tilts his head up,
Mm-hmm.
like he does like he does kind of tense for a moment. But like the thing about when Viva does it as opposed to when the nightmare did. When the
Mm-hmm.
nightmare did, like there was like this sense of like danger to it. There was this sense of a threat to it. Like it was such a gentle gesture, but like there was the fear to it as well. Like that hand could go around his neck. That hand could like fist into his hair and just slam his head down. Like it didn't, but
It could
like
have.
the knowledge that it could have was keenly and always there.
Yeah.
But, like with Veva, like there's none of that. It's just gentle. It's just
Mm-hmm.
something. It's just the way she shows care, and he just doesn't stay tense for long, and he kind of just nods, puts his hand over the one, puts his like takes her hand, and just squeezes.
And she squeezes back.
And I think we could end the FPS here, unless you have something else you'd like to add.
I don't think I have anything. No, I think that's a good place.
All right, so thank you all for listening. We hope you all had fun. I give you finger guns and a wink.
I finger guns while crying. Hey.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. Bye, everybody.
Bye.